Greetings and salutations. This is Zach Sullivan from Fret Zero Guitar, and today we're going to talk about an alternate tuning and how you can use the alternate tuning and how you can easily modify it to play in standard tuning. Okay, so one of the benefits of this tuning is that you have more bendability, I guess you could say, in the strings. There's more flex in the strings, and it's actually a whole step down from standard tuning. So like yesterday was in the tuning here. So a way you can remember, like we had in standard tuning, the mnemonic Eddie 8 Dynamite Goodbye Eddie, and in this one I came up with the mnemonic Dogs Go Crazy for alternate dogs. Okay, so the alternate ties in with the alternate tuning, right? So you can come up with your own. Please post your own comments or mnemonics on the YouTube channel or on the page on fretzeroguitar.com. But again, it's Dogs Go Crazy for alternate dogs. That's the one I have right now. So I see dogs and dogs, those are the same, and Eddie were the same on the other one. Okay, so like yesterday was originally not like yesterday. Oh, my troubles seem so far away. And it seems as though they're here to stay. Oh, I believe in yesterday. Or so forth. But this is not a lesson on yesterday. I probably should do one on that sometime. But this is on the tuning and how you can use it, right? Okay, so this is down a whole step from standard tuning. So the strings are flexier, like we said. And so if you played what normally would be all natural notes, like in the key of A minor, and you play your A minor scale, everything's in G minor there. So your one chord A minor would be in G minor chord, and your 2 chord, and then your 3 chord, 4 chord, 5 chord, 6 chord, 7 chord, and then back to G minor. But you don't have to know that right now. Let's talk about, so if you played in G, like yesterday, it uses G chord shapes, but it's in F. Okay, so you can always figure out what it would be by just going 2 frets down in the standard tuning and asking yourself, what note is that, right? So if you're familiar with it, for example, that being D, then if you went 2 frets down from that, it would be C. And once you find it true in music theory, in one place it's true across the board, right? So if you used all D shapes, you'd be playing in the key of C here. So your 1 chord would be the D, your 4 chord would be the G shape, your 1 chord would be the D, and your 5 chord would be the A. Right? So you could play like that, or just using the G chord shapes, which G chord shapes are a great way to play on guitar. You have your 1 chord there, the G chord, your 2 chord, the A minor, your 3 chord, B minor, 4 chords, the C, the 5 chords, the D, 6 chords, the E minor, and the 6 or 7 chord would be the weird F sharp diminished chord. But again, instead of being in G, everything would be in F, right? But it's all it's all in F, right? Okay, so Hopefully that makes sense. If you think of the numbers stay the same whatever key you're in. Remember, there are only 12 keys, right? Even though there are more names for them than there are keys, right? So, anyway, if your guitar strings are old, then you might want to try this tuning. You might be getting tired of playing the same way anyway. Okay? And how you put it in standard tuning is basically what we did was we subtracted 2, right? When we tuned it down a whole step, that's the equivalent of 2 frets, right? So, you know, like if this was a G chord, then when we tuned it down, it appears like an F chord, right? But, you know. Okay, so to just put it back to normal, we could just use our capo and put it on the 2nd fret. And then everything, all our open position chords are in standard tuning, right? So that could be good, but what we want to do is we want to check the tuning here. So when we do this 6th string should be back to E, like in Eddie A Dynamite, Good by Eddie. The next one would be A, E, A, D, G, B, E. Okay, got it? So Eddie A Dynamite, Good by Eddie. And, you know, we also have the option here of taking the capo off and going lower, which we don't usually have. And we can play higher. Now if we're going to play bar chords farther up if we're in the open position, everything's easy, right? So we can play Brown Eyed Girl. What is it? Good Cows, Good Dairy. So G, C, G, D, G, C, G, D. So Good Cows, Good Dairy stands for G, C, G, D, right? And that's an easy way to remember that. But if we're going to do bar chords, we add 2 to the normal fret. So like if, you know, usually a B, let's say, let's look at E shapes, for example. So right here, basically where the capo is the end of the guitar now. So this is the 0 fret 0, right? And then we have just the open voicing of the chord. So this is 0, and then here would be a G, and then a B, and you know, so forth. But if you're used to playing like in a specific one, and you're thinking like, oh, a C bar chord has a root on the 8th fret, well, it won't now because of the alternate tuning. You'll just add 2 to whatever you're used to there in your bar chord voicings. So 8 plus 2 is 10. So you're on the 10th fret instead, right? So hopefully that's clear, right? So E, G, A, B, C, and on the 12th fret would be D. But on acoustics, you know, it gets pretty hard to play up around the 12th fret on most acoustics, because most acoustics were only designed to play that high. Alright, so that's it for today. Alternate tuning. Pop quiz. What is the mnemonic for the lower, if you tune it down to a whole step? Yeah. What was it? Should be D, dogs, go, so G, crazy, 4, alternate,